matter what I do, we're always timing is always off.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, everybody. It's so good to see everyone on this wonderful, fine Tuesday, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. All right. It was a joke. Nobody thought it was funny. All right. It's nice to see you this wonderful, Monday. Mondays are Monday. They're always, they say if you can get through Monday, you can get through anything. Monday. I don't mind Monday.
No.
I don't mind Tuesday. At this age, every day I open these papers and I'm still breathing. I think it's a good day.
Exactly.
It's a good
I
day.
think that every morning I wake up.
That's right. Every day's a good day as long as I'm still breathing and my eyes open up. I'm in good shape.
Right.
How y'all feel, but that's the way I feel.
Yeah.
I got so much to talk about. Let's talk about Trump handing out French fries in the drive-up window. Was that not
McDonald's? At McDonald's.
Was that not the best you have ever seen? I know it's the best I've ever seen in my entire life.
I thought it was great.
It was very humbling because most of your high society rich cats are going to say, are you kidding me? I'm not going to McDonald's and handing out no fries. I am not even going to step in the back of McDonald's and do nothing.
Do you think maybe there was an ulterior motive?
I think there was a very ulterior. You know what? Like he said, he did 15 minutes longer than Kamala did. But can you imagine if they didn't know? Now they had to have known, but just think if they didn't know and they drove up to the drive-up window and Trump handed his French fries to you.
I bet they didn't know. I bet people didn't know.
I
don't know. They depending on where they park Secret Service cars.
I would have been like, Mr. President, oh my God, Mr. President, it's so good to see you. What do they got you in there doing French fries for? But the best part was yesterday was Kamala's birthday. She was the big 6-0. Happy birthday, Kamala. It's so nice to see that you're getting ready to hit the 60s club. I'll be there shortly.
Real shortly.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Got a birthday coming up.
Yep. And I'm so excited to be, you know what? It's a milestone. It's a milestone. 60 is a milestone. All right.
Do you know the worst birthday for me? The age.
What is it?
It was 25.
You know, that's funny because I cried on my 30th birthday. I cried so hard on my 30th birthday, I could barely talk. Well, hello, KMM. How are you, my friend?
KMM. I got drunk on my 30th birthday. So between 25 and 30, I was like a mess.
I cried so hard on my 30th birthday. The next day I woke up and my eyes were almost swollen shut because I thought, you know what? That means I was an adult.
That's when I decided to start going on vacations for milestone birthdays.
I was like, you know what? When you're 30, when you're in your 20s, you could say, you know what? I'm still in my 20s. I can make mistakes. I'm still in my 20s. It's all right. But when you're 30, it's like, oh no, I'm going to be held accountable.
And when you're 40s, it's like, oh crap.
I laughed at my 40th birthday because I thought, you know what? If I haven't learned anything yet, it ain't never going to happen. So who cares?
I think 40 is when it like really sinks in. Like I'm an adult, even though you've been an adult for 30 years, just about 20 years. You've been an adult for 20 years, but at 40, it sinks in. I'm an adult. I have to do adult things every day.
You know, when I was 40, I thought if I have not learned that what I'm supposed to do, don't worry, it ain't never going to happen. I'm going to do whatever I want to. And at 50, I decided, well, here I am. I'm still here. I'm still a sinner, but I still believe in my God and my Jesus. And you know what? And I'm still breathing. So,
Right. Right.
and at 50, I figured out that, you know what? I'm sorry to say, I'm not perfect. And then I got to thinking in my 50s, you know what? The only person that was perfect, look what they did to him. So then I was awful happy I wasn't perfect.
Right.
All right. So I've been watching Miss Sarah Boone.
No.
You know what? KMM, happy birthday week to you too, my friend. I'll be
Happy
thinking about
birthday
you
week.
on Wednesday. I'll be blowing candles out for all of us. They don't put enough candles on my cake because they're afraid it'll start a big house fire. But anyway, Sarah Boone is one of the most guilty people I have ever seen in my life. And
Right.
she thinks, I look at her and I think to myself, she really thinks she's entitled. She's entitled. Because you know what? I don't know what he did, but you know what? It's like everything else in life. If you're not happy and it's causing you pain, walk away.
Move on. Yeah.
Go on, walk away. You don't have to stay there. No one's got you tied to the post. Walk away.
Right.
You know, I don't know. It puts a spin on I loved him to death.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
But his blood alcohol level was 0.138 was what they had him at. That was his blood alcohol level. Now, my question to y'all is, what was her blood alcohol level? Because she was slurring and she said, they said, did you go to sleep? Because I went to sleep. And she goes, or did you pass out? And she goes, well, no, I went to sleep. No, I can guarantee you she passed out. If you listen to the tape, she passed out.
Right.
And then she said she tried to give him mouth to mouth, and she tried to bring him back. And
It was a little bit late then.
well, he was already purple, but things came up already so far in the case. They've already rested. You know, the defense has already rested. It was one day and they already rested. They said he had bruises on his side. He had bruises on his arms, and he had a bruise on his head. She'd hit this suitcase while he was in it with a baseball bat.
She sounds like a nice lady.
Doesn't she? And then when in the interrogation room, she said, well, he climbed in that suitcase and we knew it was broken. We knew it was broken. We knew the zipper didn't work, and we knew it locked on its own because it didn't have a pull tab. Okay. But when he got his little fingers up through the zipper to try to push it a little bit, she hit his hands with a baseball bat.
How do we not know if that blow to the head with the baseball bat's not what killed him?
We don't.
Right.
Okay, so when they did the autopsy on him, they said he had the Widowmaker. In his heart, he had the Widowmaker. And so the defense said, well, so could he possibly had a heart attack, and that's what happened to. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, I probably would have had a heart attack in that suitcase if I had the Widowmaker or not. If somebody was beating me up
Right. Right.
with a baseball bat and I couldn't get out because the zipper wouldn't work.
No kidding.
But the mortician said no, that wasn't it. But you can live years with the Widowmaker. Okay, well, we know the story. She loved him to death. You know, she loved him to death.
That's just ducky.
So that truth comes out, and now the truth on the Menendez boys is coming out. You know, kind of funny after 35 years how this letter appears, right? The letter appears, and the guy comes up and says from the band, yes, he did this to me too. Took 35 years. But finally, I guess the guy swallowed his pride and came forward and said, yes, he did this to me.
Yeah.
All the truths come out.
Right.
Well, I got one for y'all, and it hasn't even shown up. And I don't know why it hasn't shown up, but the source that I got it from is a pretty reliable source that Oprah's house has been raided recently. All right. Remember the day the publisher's mansion got raided just recently?
Diddy's publisher. Oh, Diddy's publisher. I didn't hear about it, but okay.
Yeah, just recently, Diddy's publisher's mansion got raided. It was 2 days before Liam Payne supposedly, allegedly jumped off the balcony. Now, I don't think he jumped. I think he was pushed, in my opinion. You know,
right?
And that's my own personal opinion.
See, I heard he fell.
Okay, well, yeah. See, there you go. Accidents happen here. Would you mind coming over here to this balcony? Hey, look, can you look out there for a minute and give him a big shove?
He supposedly was only in there with his girlfriend.
Allegedly, right? And you know what? He was in rehab and hadn't done anything and was trying real hard to sober himself up, and all of these drugs came in. And here's the other thing. One of the hotel employees were fired the next day. You know, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, I can guarantee you it's a duck. Yes, he had drug problems and he was trying to straighten up. But we all know you can only be so strong if somebody's sitting there saying, come on, come on.
Right.
You know, Satan does it just every day. Come on, do it. That's what's going to happen. Do it.
Right.
You think he accidentally fell out, or you think he was pushed?
I didn't read enough of the story. But you know, these young people are dying left, right, and center by mysterious ways.
You know what? I'm with you. KMM, 100%. Yes. He was pushed. All right. So we already know that that's all a big farce. And they'll put it down in history as he fell because nobody will look into it. They need to look into it, but they won't.
The autopsy said he had a bunch of drugs in his system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he did. And it shows in his room. There was drugs all over his room. Yeah.
So he relapses for one night and dies.
Mm-hmm. And he went, no, I don't believe one bit of it.
Well, maybe he went out on the balcony for some fresh air and thought he was going out the front door and he just kept walking and just went over the balcony.
Okay, so here we go. He's in rehab and he's trying to straighten himself out. And
Right.
he has been straight for so many months and he is feeling good about himself. And he has decided he's going to write this screenplay and he's doing all this stuff and he's ambitious and
Right.
he accidentally falls off the balcony.
Right.
No, I think he knew something. And I think he was getting ready to tell. And I think someone shoved him. That's what I think. You know, somebody just don't do that. So you got that. And then you got the Menendez brothers where that attorney had no chance in that second trial.
Yes, it was. It is. It sounds like it's like Matthew Perry. They'll find out.
That attorney had no chance of winning that case on the Menendez brothers.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Well, for one thing, I mean, they never really brought up the abuse until, you know, the way they did it, or the way that it's being portrayed in the movies and the documentaries, is that they brought it up trying to get it like, this is why we did it, instead of the greed. But grown men just don't admit to stuff like that. They just don't.
No.
I mean, I find it would be hard, even if it does happen to somebody, that a grown man would not want to talk about it and bring it up.
Well, and no, the abuse was not brought up in the second trial.
Right.
And by the way, in the second trial, the prosecuting attorney for the state not only went after the boys, but he went after the attorney. You made all this up because this is the kind of case, and you have been known to do this, and I thought, wait a minute, who's on trial here?
Right. Right. Isn't that how your last case went? That he got off?
And when she tried to object, that judge was not going to let her object to anything. He basically told her, sit down and shut up.
Basically, yeah.
And we're going to do it the way it's going to be done. And these guys, well, that was right after OJ walked.
Well, the first trial was, I think the first trial was before, or it was ongoing. And then OJ had his trial.
The first trial.
Because they were in jail with OJ when OJ got arrested.
Right. So the first trial had already been done before OJ's trial. And then they found acquitted OJ, and then their trial went, the second one. And even the lawyer said, even their lawyer said, we're in trouble. This judge wants because it's a political year and he wants to be reelected.
It was a political year.
Just think about that. These boys have been abused their whole life. They went to jail, got put in a cage, and was abused for the last 35.
And their mother knew what was going on and didn't do anything to stop it. They have been abused all of their lives, for their 55 and 51 year lives. They've been abused. There's no way around it.
Did you hear about the mom, that she was so worried about that she didn't look good that she would get naked in front of the boys and ask them if she had a good figure?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all. That'd be abuse on its own.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to see my mama naked. I'm sorry. Or my daddy either. You know, that just doesn't, that would be traumatizing.
That would be traumatizing.
So, I mean, and then for her to parade around and act like she was all that. Look at me. Don't you think I have a nice body? What part of you don't ask your boys that? You don't ask your kids questions like that. And then when she turned around and said, what did she say when Eric said, you wouldn't understand? You wouldn't understand.
Right.
She said, yes, I would. I understand. You think I don't know, and you think I'm blind?
Well, the part that really got me was when they started talking about the toothbrushes and stuff.
Well, okay, so what was that all about? I didn't know. I mean, I knew that they were what he was putting them there, but why was he putting toothbrushes there? Because remember, Eric said when he was in school that they showed the toothbrush thing, and he said it was and they had was going across it, and it was real soft. And he said, I thought, well, I wish he'd use that toothbrush because the one he used was real hard. Why?
I have no idea. Why people do what they do is beyond me. I really can't understand the mind of sick people. I can't. I don't get it.
I definitely don't get it because, we can compare this to a certain extent to the Gypsy Rose trial. Okay, so Gypsy Rose was supposedly, allegedly abused, right? Her mama did things to her, had her in a wheelchair, did all this stuff to her, trying to get money and use her, the poor, pitiful me kind of thing, and all that kind of stuff. She never physically abused her as far as that kind. She never SA'd her or any of that kind of stuff, but she did other kind of abuse, right? So she talks a special needs person into doing it. Is she not just as guilty as a special?
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
So
But
go ahead.
With this whole thing that's going on and everything, it kind of made something pop into my head, and that is what kind of abuse did Sybil go through?
Oh, Sybil went through horrible abuse in her.
I mean, it wasn't
jail.
Couldn't have been just mental abuse. It couldn't.
Oh no, it was physical too. It was physical because remember she would tie her up and tell her to hold her water.
Right. But was there other on top of that too?
Oh, I'm sure. And that's where an abused child, a really, truly, horribly abused, terrorized, traumatized child, invents other personalities to protect them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, because you've got the bold ones, you got the shy ones, you got the ones that don't like talking about anything, you got the ones that even when they're grown, they're still children.
You got the little girl that it happened to that sits off in the corner and cries.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this has been going on for years. Years. Our country right now, where do you think adrenochrome comes from?
Right.
And we're selling it on the streets.
Right.
And they're making it like it's okay. It's okay. These children will reproduce this adrenochrome at any given time. No, they don't. I mean, I was trying to think the other day, how far can you think back? How far can you remember back?
I remember the kindergarten, but I do remember one thing when I was 9 months old. And that's only because I almost died.
Okay. See?
I remember that, but then I don't remember anything else until kindergarten. And the only thing I remember really from kindergarten was our Thanksgiving feast at school.
Okay, so 5 years old.
Yeah.
We'll go back to 5. And these boys were how old? 6 when he started.
Yeah.
So he got them at the most vulnerable age where they were going to be mentally and would never forget it.
Right.
Traumatized.
Right.
Now my question is, all right, so back to let's do the comparison here. So Gypsy Rose gets a special needs child she bought the knife,
Right.
she bought the bus ticket. She showed him on a video how to do it. Told him what room she was going to be, told him what time to be there, and she would be waiting for him.
Right.
And he went in just like a little robot because he was autistic, horribly autistic. Went in, did his thing, and then they went on their merry little way. Now, what people are not hearing, like in the Menendez case, how they fail to put some evidence in there.
Right.
In the interview, the interrogation with Nick Godejohn, they asked him, special needs children, they didn't ask him this, but I'm going to tell you because I did the research. Special needs children do not lie because they don't know how to lie.
Right.
They tell the truth because they don't care what the outcome is. They only know to tell the truth. He told them, if he didn't tell them once, he told them multiple times. How many times did you stab Dee Dee Blanchard? 4. Nick, are you sure it was only 4 times? 4. I stabbed her 4 times. Did she make any noises? No. Nick, how many times did you insert? 4. 4. He said it over and over and over. So many times there's just no way he was going to lie. He said it 4. All right. Kind of funny how during the trial that nobody mentioned that Dee Dee Blanchard had been had 14 wounds.
Yeah.
14. Who was in the house with her?
So either she was already dead or she stabbed her after he did. One or the other.
I kind of think that Dee Dee Blanchard had already expired by the time Nick got there. And he did his 4, and he thought he had done it.
Right.
And because the only reason I say that is because he was with Gypsy the rest of the time after that.
Yeah.
So he would have seen her. And he would have told, believe me, he would have said, well, I did 4 and she did. But he didn't. Right. He said, I did 4.
Right. And the whole thing about that trial and the whole thing about the whole thing is just messed up because obviously, he's not in his right mind. So what kind of care is he getting in jail?
None.
That's what I'm saying. So he's just like, it's like putting a 5-year-old in jail. And I'm,
Do you know they never even did a mental evaluation on him?
What?
Why? They never did a mental evaluation on him. Why not?
I mean, there had to be paperwork. There had to be paperwork on him already if he was an adult or almost an adult.
Yeah.
And that's, and that's where it's wrong. That's where our justice system is so messed up, because then you get people that blatantly kill people and everything else, and they get a slap on the wrist. Why? Probably because the judges were bribed.
Gypsy Rose did 10 years, y'all. Gypsy Rose did 10 years and got off a little bit early for good behavior. I want that to sink in.
Right.
Gypsy Rose did 10 years. Nick Godejohn is doing life.
Right. And so are the Menendez brothers.
Right.
They have to do life for somebody that abused them.
Didn't they already get punished enough?
You would think 35 years of their whole adult life. I mean, come on.
Right? They're already in their 50s. Their life is basically, I mean, really, all right. Unless they're like Gypsy, Gypsy walked out the door, a multimillionaire. Now you tell me how that is right.
See, and I don't know how that works either, because I know there used to be laws in place that you don't get paid for any movies or any book deals or anything.
The Son of Sam law.
Yeah.
It didn't pertain to her. It should have.
So it's pick and choose there too.
Right. Right. So she walks out. She's a multimillionaire.
Right.
She's living the good life. She's hanging out with the Kardashians.
Well,
and that kind of odd. And everything's all peachy, right? And is the truth out there? Is the truth out there? I guarantee you it will be. I guarantee you it will be. It will come out. The truth on that one will come out.
Probably will.
What did I tell you?
Truth always comes out.
It does. You think you're going to get away with something and you don't. I'm going to tell you. Do you remember me saying Oprah was going to go down?
Yes.
I'm telling you right now, it's a sure fact. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I said it before I heard it from a really good source. When the feds went into her house, she had a freak off basement with a lot of baby oil. And you know the funny thing about that is, you know who Sneedman is, right?
Yeah.
They found him in lingerie, women's lingerie in the basement. Surprise!
Well, there has to be a reason why they've been together for 40 years and never got married.
It's all eminence front, because I think that Oprah prefers people by the name of Gail or Lisa. Like Hillary likes the people with the name of Uma Aberdeen.
Right.
I mean, this stuff doesn't, I don't just make this stuff up. They want to hide it. Why hide it? Why hide it? Everybody's coming out with it. Everybody's all happy. Look at me. Look at me.
Right. Well, and that's what people don't understand. They don't understand. I mean, and our politicians are the worst ones. The truth is going to come out eventually. It will come out.
We're on the road to the truth right now.
Yes. And it's going to come spewing out left, right, and center. And people are going to lose their minds after they realize what they've been a part of and how they were duped and lied to.
And stuff hidden. Here, we'll just pick up this rug and we'll dust it under there and no one will ever know the difference. It's like that thing that you showed me. What does George Soros not own? What is his fingers not in?
Who's he not connected to?
Thank you. Thank you.
Because this one's married to that one, that's married to this one, and that one's married to this one, and this one married into this family, and this one married that one, and they own this, and they own that, and these people own this.
And
What
allegedly,
people don't realize is that a lot of politicians and media are married to politicians and media.
yeah,
That's what we need to get out there as the truth.
right.
Is that, yeah. And if they're not married to somebody Soros knows, they're involved with the Rockefellers.
Let me ask you a question here. If my husband was a big money tycoon and he was invested in lithium, and I told him, well, you know what? There's a lot of lithium in North Carolina. We wouldn't even have to go that far for it. The wheels start turning, y'all. They start moving. Oh, those are a bunch of hillbillies. They'll sell their stuff for nothing. We'll just go up there and tell them, you know what? We'll give you pennies on a dollar because your house ain't even worth it.
Right.
And they wouldn't. And they wouldn't because there was more than just their homes there. It was their roots and their family.
Right.
And
Right.
it's more to it than just a house. And
Right.
what happened? And what happened? You want to give it to us? There'll be a natural disaster.
You know, there's too many natural disasters. When I was a kid, I don't ever remember hearing so many natural disasters, so many fires, so many hurricanes, so many tornadoes. I mean, where is it going to end?
They're big too. They're not just like little hurricanes, they're big ones. Think about this. How many Cat 5s have we seen this year? And where are they going?
I mean, these things are growing to be 4, 5, 6, 700 miles wide.
Mm-hmm.
That is big, everybody. That is huge.
Right. And they're going to Florida. How come they keep going to Florida? They keep going to Florida. In fact, we got two. One, Oscar getting ready to come into the Gulf, I guess, or whatever. And the next one following is Patsy.
No, I just saw it's going back out into the Atlantic.
Well, I sure hope so.
Yeah.
And where's Patsy going?
I didn't hear about Patsy, but Oscar's going back out.
Well, good. Because you know what? It was headed to Florida. I mean, they all are headed to Florida. What is in Florida?
It's over by Cuba, but it's going to head back out, and it's down to a
My question is, what is in Florida?
There's gold in them there hills.
There's something in them there hills that somebody wants, and it ain't Trump because he's too busy traveling all over everywhere. They can't get him in Florida.
I know there's a lot of swampland.
Well, there you go. Maybe they want some. They have some swampland they want to sell you.
Well, the creatures got to go back in the swamp at some time.
Well, there you go. You know, our White House is built on a swamp.
No, you know what it is? That is where all of the billionaires migrated to from, and the one they're not in California anymore. California went too far left.
Right.
So they all moved to West Palm. That's where all the money is.
Yep. And here, let's take care of it. Let's get rid of it.
But what they don't understand is that these people are building these homes with, 8-inch walls and, 4-inch windows. And then they have metal shutters that come down and go over it. And, and if you drive through there, you don't see very many big, tall palm trees. You see the tall, thin ones, and you see the shorter ones, but you don't see very many big palm trees. So they can't fall. These people are smart that are building these homes. Trust me. I've watched 2 homes be built. I've gone down the last 3 years, and I've watched 2 homes be built, and yes, they take that long to be built.
Well, see, they're getting nice homes because I'm telling you, they don't. A lot of them aren't. Us of our homes that were built in the 80s.
Right. Right.
You know?
The ones that you can huff and puff and blow down.
Yeah, well, thank you. By the grace of God, we haven't had anything this year. They're picking on Florida this year. They'll probably pick on something else next year.
They're picking on Florida, the Carolinas, and Georgia.
Right.
That's what they're doing. And
Oh,
that's where the lithium is.
it's sickening. Y'all, it's sickening. And I'm going to tell you something else, too, while we're on the subject, because I talked to Linda about it today. I have sat here and racked my brains. Why would you bring all these people into the United States? Why would you do this? Why would you do it? There's got to be a plan. Why would you bring all these people here? You're not only bringing them here, you're dropping them off in Germany, and you're dropping them off in France, and even LJ said they're dropping them off in the UK, all over everywhere. Why would you do this? Why? I don't get it. Why? And it was just like slammed right in my face, and I thought, I can't believe that.
Yeah.
I just can't believe it. So let's talk about that for a second. Anybody got any good ideas on why they would do this? Why would they do this? Why? Why would they want to destroy us and bring in all these people? Some people said, well, maybe I even said maybe they want to destroy us from within. They're all fighting age. Maybe that's what they want to do. Why?
Come on, Connie, hit him with the truth.
All right, I'm going to tell you. Let's see what y'all think. United States of America is a melting pot and has been for many years. We have every nationality. We have from all kinds all over the world, and they have considered the United States a melting pot for many, many years. We have brought in immigrants. All right. So we're the United States of melting pot. We don't have like a true American. We have an American that was born in the Dominican Republic, but now is American. Follow me here? All right. The United Kingdom don't do that. The United Kingdom says, no, you know what? We like our own people here. France don't like anybody but the French.
Right.
And Germany don't like anybody but Germans. And I'm going to tell you right now, I looked it up one time. You cannot move to New Zealand unless New Zealand has a job for you. You have to have a job to go there, and they have to want you, or you can't go there. You just can't just go. But they're dropping them everywhere. All right. So what are they creating? They're creating a world of melting pots. Every country will be a melting pot, just exactly like the United States, right? There won't be just all Germans anymore. There'll be Germans and Venezuelans and Dominican Republic and whatever, all in France and all in Germany and all in the UK, right? So what makes us any different? What makes any country any different at that point? It don't, right? So that's when we can step in and say, hey, you know what? We're going to do a one world government because y'all are melting pots.
Right.
And we'll have 10 people that'll be leaders with one king to control it all. Because you know what? Nobody's really German or nobody's really French. You got people from everywhere living with you, just like the Americans do.
Yep.
What do you think? Give me your input on that, Linda. I want to hear what you got to say.
I think it's very reasonable thought. I think it's a very reasonable thought because, before I talked to you earlier, I was thinking, why do we have to have, African American and Arab American and Chinese American? And, if you come to this country, you want to be an American. Just say you're an American. Why do you have to? I don't say I'm Italian American. I don't say I'm Polish American. I say I'm American with Polish and Italian roots because both of my families came from Poland and Italy.
Right.
So why this all changed in the last 20 years is beyond me. I don't get it. I mean, I understand why the African Americans don't want to just be called blacks. I get that. But can't we come up with a name, like a suitable
Why do we
something?
even have to go by their color? They're just Americans.
That's what I'm saying.
Period.
Can't we just, it's ridiculous.
I was born in America. That makes me American. I don't care what color your skin is. I was born in America.
You can be purple for all I care.
Me too.
What does it matter? What does it matter? Why do you, by saying you want to be called African American, you are being racist. You are wanting to stand out. We just, it's just Americans. And that's where the first mistake is. And that's where division is. And that's how division happens and keeps happening, is because African American, Chinese American. Okay, that's great that you're Chinese. That's great that you're, and it's only certain nations. You don't hear you do hear Korean American, but you don't really hear like Vietnam. Yeah, they say they're Vietnamese, but you're in America now. You need to drop that. I'm sorry.
Or what about on a job application?
Right. It shouldn't. Why does it matter what nationality you are? What does it matter? Because let me tell you, there's no application that says Polish or Italian or anything like that. It's just white, black, Native American, what's the difference? Why do you need to know if I'm white, black, pink, or purple?
It doesn't. In fact,
good for her.
Let's go even a little bit deeper here. I'm Irish and German and English. So actually I'm a Heinz 57.
Right.
But no, I'm American. Right? I'm American. I came from the boiling pot of the world, the melting pot of the world that they all got together and procreated. And I am a Heinz 57, so that makes me an American.
Right.
So let's take all these people and throw them in other countries and make them what? A melting pot too.
Well, my question is this. Do they say, like, if they say they go to Germany, do they say that they're Italian German?
No. In fact, I'll be honest with you. If you've ever met a person from Germany,
if they go,
they'll tell you they're German in a heartbeat. They don't even tell you if they got any other bloodlines in there. They'll say, I'm German.
Right. That's what my son says. He's German.
And
he is mostly German. But that's the one he picked. He's German. It's like, no, you're American. You know I'm German. I'm like, no, you're American. Do you know how to speak German?
Yes, KMM, I understand that too. I am also very proud of my Irish.
We all are proud of our heritages.
But I'm going to tell you something here. I'm also proud that I have a little bit of Native American in me. And I mean the Native American Indian. Yeah, I got some of that too.
I got some black.
And those people aren't running around going, hey, you know what? I'm Native American.
And that's another thing. Choose your words wisely,
They
because
don't say I'm Sioux or I'm Cherokee or they
right,
just say I'm an Indian.
right, but and you can't call them Indian anymore.
And that's our government talking because the Indians really don't care. That's the funny part. They
They're
said
proud to be Indian.
they are very proud to be Indians, and their words are, you know what, we were here before you.
Right,
So actually, we are the true Americans.
right. They
How about
are.
that one? How about that one?
I think there's nothing wrong with them being called Native American.
I
I
don't think
don't.
there's anything
That
about
is
bad about
that
calling
is
Americans, period.
that is one heritage that can get away with saying Native American because they were the original ones here. Their ancestors were the original ones here.
You're absolutely right.
Because everything is unhomed, unalive, you know.
That is ridiculous. That is the most ridiculous thing, KMM, I've ever heard. Why are homeless now called unhomed?
Well, does anybody remember that whole little thing that happened with politically correct? Now we just don't say politically correct. Now it's just the way they want it, and that's the way it is.
Or it's a conspiracy theory. If you do anything and you say, oh, you know what, they did this, oh, that's a conspiracy theory.
Right. Right.
Oh,
If it doesn't go in their agenda and it doesn't fall into their line and their place, it's a conspiracy theory. How many conspiracy theories have been proven wrong? How many? Too many to count. And especially with Mr. Trump, too many to count.
well, and the ones that they really call conspiracy theories, some of them are, they've hit what do they say? They hit the nail on the head.
Yep.
Because it ain't no conspiracy, it's the truth, and they want to call it conspiracy because they don't want us to, it's like, don't open your eyes and let me tell you. No, you know what it is? It's here. Look right here. Look right here. No, don't look over here while we're doing this. We don't want you paying any attention to this that's going on over here. I want you to look right here. Okay?
Right.
Just look right here. And listen to what I'm telling you. It's almost like a puppet master, and someone's up here drawing the strings, and we're supposed to dance like little marionettes and be happy. Well, it ain't happening anymore. People are waking up and saying, hey, you know what? Something ain't right here. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And if we don't make a change in our government in 14 days, y'all, we are going to be not called America anymore. We're going to be called, it won't be the country of America. We're going to be
the corporation.
The state.
Yeah.
The world government. Right.
And you can't even say the United States because everybody's so far here, there, left, right, center, upwards, downwards, backwards, in between. Yeah. They're not united anymore.
No, we're gonna be America state, and it's gonna be German state and French state.
State of America.
Yeah, state of America. How about that? Doesn't that make you so proud to say, I live in the state of America? Well, our founding fathers fought and died to keep us the way we were, to be a country of our own, and many people fought and died to keep us free. And we're going to just roll over and say, okay, bring in all your troops, do whatever you want to. And you know what? You that don't comply, we'll just shoot you in the streets.
Right, exactly.
I don't think so.
You guys, we can't stress enough how important it is to vote. It doesn't matter. You do whatever you want to do. Everybody has a right to their vote, but just use your noggin when you're voting.
Well, and that's the
really look at your candidates. Is Trump the best pick? Maybe not. but he's done it before. He can do it again. Kamala, I mean, she says she wouldn't change anything, you guys. So that means it's going to be more of this oppression and more of all of this nonsense. She's been in office for 4 years and hasn't done a damn thing.
I have one thing that I want to inseed in your brain, and I want you to think about this comment. And I just heard it from her, and you know how much I love her. I just love listening to everything in her cackling voice. It makes me so happy inside. You know how I feel about that. But I'm going to tell you one comment she made, and I heard it on a replay, and I couldn't believe it, y'all. I could not believe it, and I want you these words to burn inside your brain when you go to put your vote in 14 days. She said at one of her rallies, somebody jumped up and said, "Praise God," and she said, if you're here and it's about God, you're at the wrong rally."
The rally you want is down the street.
Yeah, the rally you want is down the street.
Think about that, guys. Think about that.
How many people let that go in one ear and out the other?
They're not going to let God back in.
They don't want
to let God back in.
When we took God out of schools is when we started having problems.
Right.
We tried to take God out of the homes. Nobody sits down at the dinner table. Not very many have a family dinner anymore. Everybody's crowded around the TV. And I'll be doggone if they don't have their cell phones out doing this kind of number. Nobody has a family unit. They knew that if they destroyed the family unit, that is the strongest thing we have as a family unit.
There is some that still hang on to that family unit.
And,
I know
and
in my house, we try as hard as we can for all of us to sit down at dinner, including Ellie Mae. She's in her high chair. My older son, they sit down as a family at dinner. We still sit down at a family for dinner for birthdays, Thanksgiving, Easter, Christmas. You know, I mean, and that's the way it is.
My family is all over everywhere and doing their own thing. But we are very close knitted. And at Thanksgiving, we all get together. And before anyone puts a bite in their mouth, we all gather hands because there's a big number of us at Thanksgiving. I don't have a table big enough, nor do I have a room big enough to put a table big enough for everyone to sit down at one table because there's that many. But what I try to do is do my kitchen table and then put another table up so other people can be seated in there at a couple tables. But we do all stand in a circle with our hands, holding hands. And my mama says grace.
My mama does.
Every Thanksgiving and every Christmas and every New Year's and every chance we can get for our families to be together, we do it. And Mom prays every time.
Yep.
It's time we get this family unit back together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I mean, and let me tell you, my older son, they have a very hectic schedule, very, very hectic schedule. I mean, there's times when they're not eating dinner till 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, and it's almost the boys' bedtime. But they sit down and eat together. Or if they have to eat early, then my son sits down with his boys and they eat together. And then they'll have a snack and eat with their mom later so that they're all sitting and together. Even if they're having a snack.
As a family unit. Yes, it's very, very important. You know, there's a saying, and it goes like this. A family who stays together thrives together.
Yeah.
You could do the same thing. A country that stays together.
Right.
Will thrive together.
Right.
You know, I was never so humbled in my life as I was watching Trump do French fries and hand it out a window at the drive-thru of McDonald's.
Right.
It was very humbling because I'm going to tell you something. I don't know very many rich people in this world that would have worked the French fry place.
No.
Make it a point or not. Now, he did make a point, but you know, while he was making his point, he was still telling those people how important they were and what a good job they were doing.
Right. Exactly. But it's that time, and we have a couple announcements to make.
We're not doing this Thursday because y'all, we're saving our time because election night, we're going to be a little bit later because I want to share some time with you on election night. What do y'all say? Let's have us a great big election party so we can enjoy the moment together. What do y'all say?
So we're not going to do this Thursday or next Thursday.
Right.
We're not going to do the next 2 Thursdays.
Well, and the one Thursday's Halloween.
Right.
So
that would be next Thursday.
Yeah, I mean nobody will come on here and do any hooping and hollering on handing out candy and asking little kids what they're supposed to be.
And I want to be with my grandkids, so
well,
I'm fortunate enough to have grandkids, and I'd like to. I have very, very, very far and few in between Halloweens left with my grandsons.
And you enjoy every bit of them. You enjoy every bit of them. Thank you, ladies. I have to skate election night, so later's great. Yep, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have us an election party. I'm so excited. You have no idea. I've been talking about it all day long. And you know, it's almost like prom night. I've been trying to think of what I'm going to wear and how I'm going to look. And you know what? I'm going to the prom because I'm going to see a man take over the United States that deserves it.
Yes, a man that we need until we can get else in there. Somebody that's going to start putting our country back in the right gears.
Put the frame of mind back in the people so that they need hope. Y'all, we all need hope. We need hope to get through another week. Everybody's having it tough. It's not just us.
Right.
So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm going to look so forward to being around you. And so until tomorrow. Oh, what was our other comment? What was our other, was that the main one? Oh, it was our party.
And not doing Thursdays and not doing Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah. So
and if we forgot anything, we'll tell you tomorrow.
Right? Because sometimes we just fly at the seat of our pants.
Yeah. Sometimes we do.
Love
you. Love everybody out there. Thank you for your
support. Say prayers for the Trumps on the 27th, y'all. It's National Prayer Night for the Trumps, and definitely do that.
That's this Sunday.
Yep. I'll remind you tomorrow because I won't be here Thursday to remind you. But Thursday is National Prayer Night for the Trumps, and we definitely need to do that because we need to turn this ship around.
Yes, we do.
I want to be the country of the United States of America. I don't want to be America the state.
Right. Night, everybody.
Good night.